Hello, everybody, and you're all very, very welcome back to part 3 of the Lead2Launch workshop. So, first of all, I'm just checking here that everything's coming online, and yep, we're up on. So, streaming out at the moment, we're streaming to the Facebook page, Facebook profile, Facebook group, YouTube, Instagram. So wherever you're looking at this, you're very, very welcome, and I'm delighted that you could join me today. And if you want a framework that you can apply to your lead generation campaigns to instantly figure out how to get people to take action, no matter what level of the funnel they're on or the level of the value ascension roadmap they're moving to, or maybe you want a process that not just for major promotions, but also on every step of your value ascension ladder to move people forward, to help them get results which would propel them to want even more of what you can help them achieve, thus growing your business revenue and profitability, then this module of the Lead2Launch workshop is for you. Now, you may be an online entrepreneur who's new to the digital world and looking to get your first leads, to attract and build your initial email list for your first online launch. You could even be a course creator or a membership site owner who has the foundations in place and is now looking to build a predictable and dependable lead generation process that ensures your next launch is your big breakthrough, the launch that puts you and your business on the map. Or you could already have a successful online business that you want to take to the next level. And in order to do so, you need to build a scalable lead generation process that produces a steady stream of perfect fit clients at scale. Maybe even a lead generation process that creates an unlimited marketing budget through producing cost neutral or free leads from paid traffic. So thanks to everybody who's shown up for the first 2 modules of the Lead2Launch workshop. I really do believe that lead generation is one of the most important skills that an online business owner can develop. And I'm so happy to share, everything that I've learned, a veteran of almost 60 launches, nearly 20 years of marketing experience building multi-million-dollar businesses. And if all that experience has taught me anything, it's that online courses and memberships are a most elegant model for impacting change and delivering personal development. Now, that's somebody from who used to deliver, plan, organize and deliver up to 150 to 180 live in-person training events a year, spanning over 15 years. So nothing excites me more than helping people to attract the level of leads that they need to launch, scale and grow their online courses and membership sites. Having been through the process and ultimately generating almost 1.5 million annual recurring revenue from memberships and courses, I discovered how essential having sustainable and scalable lead generation processes were to growing an online business. I was just looking at stats the other day. Even if nobody was to unsubscribe from your list, so industry averages for list decay, that is, how many emails on your database become redundant. This might be due to people changing email address, changing companies, forgetting password, domain name changes. It ranges from 15% to 25% per year. Let that sink in for a little while. 15 to 25% per year. So that means if you were just to sit and not email your email list for 365 days, between 15 and 25% of the emails on that list would no longer be reaching the person who you want to communicate with. Now, what does that mean for your business? I think this underlines just how important lead generation is to the future success of your business, and especially having a process whereby you can generate free or cost-neutral leads from paid traffic. And that's exactly what we've looked at in this workshop. So in the first model, we looked at the foundation of all lead generation. Well, actually, this is the foundation of your entire online business, but it's an absolutely fundamental part of your lead generation process, and that is the value ascension roadmap. The value ascension roadmap is your plan to take your perfect fit client all the way from their first encounter with you, and that's at whatever level of knowledge and experience they're at now, to a loyal follower who achieves the ultimate transformation that you can provide. You need to have a plan for your perfect fit client. You need to know the steps that they need to take all the way from where they are today to the ultimate transformation that you know is possible for them. Your value ascension roadmap lays out the step-by-step journey that your perfect fit clients will take. Along the way, you'll lay out your stages or milestones. These are, the supports that you provide to assist your clients achieve their transformation. It's also the milestones that give them, the steps in their journey that they need to take. So the value ascension roadmap looks at value in two ways. First of all, the value to a perfect fit client. And the further along the roadmap they travel, the greater the value you provide. This is normally delivered by means of increased touch points, live interactive content, and maybe smaller and smaller groups. The value ascension roadmap also illustrates the increase in value to your business as the amount paid by the client, to you as they progress further down the roadmap, as that amount paid increases. We then went on to look at a simple but massively valuable mini front-end liquidator funnel. So this is a method by which you can generate almost infinite leads and unlimited marketing budget through using a mini front-end product to liquidate or cover the cost of your ad spend to generate your front-end leads. Now, I mapped out the entire funnel and brought you through the critical success factors for each stage. In addition to this, we also did a deep dive on Facebook ad campaign itself and some of the key things that you need to get right to ensure that you keep your cost per lead and your cost per acquisition as low as possible while attracting the highest quality leads. And that really is here important because the purpose of a lead is to create a sale. And that you need to make sure that you're attracting the highest possible quality leads. Now, this all sounds fantastic, but the one point that I was keen to stress all of this, and this is what really differentiates my process, is that when you combine the value ascension roadmap and the mini front-end liquidator funnel, not only are you getting free to zero cost leads from Facebook, but these leads are pump primed and itching to buy your next offer that you put in front of them. This is where the model really comes alive. So, get the steps of your value ascension roadmap right and your launches will explode, attracting streams of perfect fit client into your online courses and your memberships. You see, what I haven't told you is there's actually a framework sitting behind all of this, which once you understand and apply it to your lead generation process, it will revolutionize not just the leads that you collect, but the end result, which is the launch revenue that you generate. And that's exactly what we're going to share with you today. Very often we get caught up in all the marketing tactics and strategies. And let's face it, in the online world, there's a lot of noise out there. And there's always the new latest bright and shiny thing. But I love principles. Because while tactics and strategies come and go, the principles of persuasion, communication, and human psychology will always prevail. And whenever I see a new tactic or strategy, the first thing I always do is look for the principle at play. And if I don't see one, well, the tactic, despite the results it might be getting right now, if it's in breach of an overarching principle or it's not based on a principle, I'll always pass. Because it's not going to survive long term. And this is one of the reasons why I've been a member of PLF and tribe communities for so long, because these are principle-based approaches. And that's exactly what the Lead2Launch M.E3 Framework is. One of the beautiful things about principles are that they apply no matter what the situation. And the Lead2Launch M.E3 Framework can be applied to your value ascension roadmap as a whole and each individual level. You also apply to your lead generation campaigns, your Facebook ads, and your opt-in pages. Pretty much, you can even apply this framework when you're drafting blogs or email copy. Even having it in your mind when you're making decisions and communicating with clients and prospects on a daily basis will help you immensely. And just before I jump into it, I just want to check to see if we have any questions coming on online, or if anybody is saying hello to me. If you are online and if you do have any questions, please do drop them into chat. I can see most of the places here, so if you do have any questions, please do drop them into chat, and I'll make sure to answer them either as we go along or at the end of the session. But what I'd like to do now is I'd like to jump over maybe to screen, and we're going to look at the M.E3 formula. Now, one of the things that at the end of this that I'm also going to do is I'm also going to map this back onto the Value Ascension Roadmap. So we looked at a version of the Value Ascension Roadmap. However, I left out some little bits of it which I would now like to fill back in, and hopefully this is going to make even more sense, and you're going to see the depth of it. So the M.E3 formula, well, what does it stand for? Well, we have, first of all, the M, that stands for map. So we're going to be looking at strategic outcomes. Everything in marketing, everything in business needs to start with strategy. And I think actually probably the best way of doing this is I'm just going to run through the overall layout of it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about each of the individual sections or portions of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to map out the strategic outcomes. Now, I believe that you should be looking, kind of in your business at there's three main types of strategic outcomes that you need to bear in mind when you're making any sort of decisions about business growth or about business development or about funnels or about marketing. So the first one is you need to look at for you, what are your strategic objectives? The second thing you need to look at, what are your business strategic objectives? And I make kind of a huge distinction between your own personal strategic objectives and also between your business objectives. I think you have to start with your personal objectives. You have to lay out what you want your lifestyle to be like, what your goals are, what your personal strategy is. Your business needs to serve you. Far too often it's the other way around. Far too often people get caught in their business. They build a business and it's not built based on their non-negotiables. And as a result, they end up getting trapped maybe in a business that they don't enjoy working in or is not serving them. So first of all, we lead with the for you part. We then look at the business. And then the third type of strategic outcome that you need to have is for your perfect fit client. Now, again, I'll talk about, how on the different levels of this, but you need to start at a very part of your strategic plan. And look, I know people tend to hate that word, and people think that strategy is airy-fairy, kind of up in the air, not relevant to online businesses. I'm a huge just advocate for strategic planning. Now, part of this was the experience that I had, as a partner in one of the world's foremost strategic planning softwares strategic planning software for accountants. So software that accountants can use to help with advisory. And I spent about 10-15 years helping that business to grow and develop throughout Ireland, Canada, England, South Africa. But the fact is that everything starts with strategy, and that's where you need to start thinking. And you also need to have a strategy in place for your perfect fit clients. So from the map, we're looking here, goals, objectives, strategy, the emotion that you want your perfect fit clients to feel, the results that you want your perfect fit clients to achieve, and the milestones that you want them to hit. Next, we've got enroll. So the M, the first E, so 3 E's, the first E is enroll. And enroll, really what you need to do is you need to gain buy-in and commitment from your perfect fit clients. We'll speak on the different levels that this happens on. But when we're talking about enroll, and I need to just move my picture off there, you have to answer the question, what's in it for me? And that's from your perfect fit client's perspective. You have to enroll them in themselves. You have to enroll them in taking action. So, at any stage when somebody either is looking at a kind of a piece of promotional marketing content, is looking at a lead magnet, is looking at a mini front-end product, or once they get something, very often where marketing, kind of campaigns fall down is they deliver huge value, but then the perfect fit client does not actually implement what you are delivering to them. And this is why enrollment is so, so important. So you need to enroll them in taking action, give them a big enough why, show them what's possible when they commit, and show them a future that they've not yet dreamed of. And this is something that I think you have to spend some time getting to know your perfect fit client. And I'm going to qualify a lot of these points in a couple of minutes. But in some ways, you have to be able to envisage a better future for your clients than they can even envisage for themselves. And this is absolutely essential in getting them enrolled in your process or whatever it is you're providing. The next E is engage. And with the engagement, you have to deliver and get results. So if we're looking at here, kind of on a campaign basis, you need to enroll them. So it might be signing up for a lead magnet. And if we look at, literally our lead generation process, we can go enroll would be the signing up for a lead magnet. Then engaging is the delivery of the lead magnet. So that's when a lead magnet, when they receive it. So you have to deliver the deliverables, which I know is a bit of a mouthful, but you actually have to give them what you've promised. Then you have to support them achieve the the kind of the personal, support them achieve the promised results. Understand their dreams, their goals, their pain, their frustrations. So what you have to do is you have to really connect with them, and you have to make sure that you are bringing them on the journey, because the whole essence of the M.E3 framework is that you get results for people. But people need support, they need help to do that. And really what you're doing through the engagement stage is you're setting them up so that you put them in a position that they're ready to take action and take the next step. And the next step in this case is elevate. And how you elevate people is you elevate people through offers. And that is the very, very best way that you can elevate people. So what you need to do, your engagement level brings them to a point where they get a certain level of benefit, and you prime them then to take the next step. Then you've got your elevate level, which brings them in, offers. So you need to instill belief. In order for somebody to accept an offer, they need to believe. They need to believe first in themselves. They need to believe in you. They need to believe in the process, and they need to believe in your offer. So you have to give them all that. And, your offer has to solve a very, very specific problem. You need to give them a reason to act now. You need to remind them what's at stake and answer any objections that they give you. And to really think, one great way to think about your offers is you have to think about, almost being like in a courtroom. And you have to present evidence at every step of the way to prove that your offer is an open and shut case. So from here, really your M.E3 process then becomes a circular and a kind of an ever revolving process, because once somebody gets to the kind of enroll, engage, elevate, now you go back to the enroll level. Now very often your mapping will change, and you should have very specific plans to help people, and there should be a map for every level of the elevation. Is probably the best way of saying it. So just to look at, now that we can see the plan in one place, and I might just turn this off so that you can see the kind of the four sections. Now what I'd like to do is maybe bring you, kind of part of the sorry, we just had a slight little hiccup there on audio. I'm just getting it fixed here. Yeah, we're back in play. Okay, so if we look at, on a personal, we're looking at mapping. Let's talk about personal strategy for a minute. So I believe personal strategy is one of the most important things that you need to get right in your strategy, and that you need to have really mapped out. What do you want from life? Like, what lifestyle do you want? What income do you need to support the lifestyle that you want? Who do you want to work with? How do you want to work with them? What are your non-negotiables? What makes you feel successful as a person? What makes you feel successful as a business person? What makes you angry? What makes you angry about the niche you operate? What makes you excited about the niche you operate in? What do you believe is possible for your perfect fit client? So I think this is hugely, hugely important, because far too often people don't build the business that they want. They build the business almost accidentally, and that is because there's a lack of strategy. Your business is there to serve you, and you need to make sure that you do everything in your power, that the business is set up in a way that you want it to be set up. The second element here is business strategy. So what is the long-term vision for your business? What are your financial goals 1 year, 3 years, 5 years from now? How much time are you willing to invest in your business growth? What are your objectives for team, brand, marketing, contribution, operations, processes? What is your exit or succession strategy? What is your value ascension roadmap? What percentage of your time do you spend in strategy, management, implementation? What percentage would you like that to be? Like, where does your biggest opportunity lie? These are all questions that you should be asking. Like, where does your biggest opportunity lie? What's preventing you from achieving that opportunity? And here's a great question that I heard the other day. If you were to achieve your 10-year goals in 6 months, what would you have to do? These are all strategy questions that feed into your promotional plans and feed into your business structure. In addition to that, we've got, your perfect fit client. So you need to think about your perfect fit client. Well, what do you want them to feel? What results do you want them to achieve? What milestones do you want them to hit? What do you want them to be able to say is true for them? What do you see as possible for them that they can't even see yet? What would achieving the ultimate transformation mean to their life? If you don't reach your perfect fit client, how will their life be worse off? What steps do they need to take to reach their ultimate transformation? What are the next steps on their journey? What's keeping them stuck? What do they need to move forward? These are all questions that you need to have answered before you look at the map that you lay out to them. And so, if we were to think about from my business for a second, and very much, I'll just bring me back up for a minute, but I have a plan for you, and I have a plan for my perfect fit client. So I can see profitable lead generation systems on autopilot. I can literally see you being able to go out and being able to attract leads, almost have all the processes, all the systems, everything else set up and ready to go, and that leads are just flowing into your business on a regular basis. I can see you building an easy 6 or even a 7-figure business. And that business isn't a chain around your neck, so that business is fully processized and it's essentially handed off to a COO to manage. I can see a fully diversified business, and this is one of the biggest challenges. This is what really prompted me, kind of to lay out the value ascension roadmap, because I feel it's people are risking their future business. It's far too risky to just have one product. It's far too risky to have one course or one membership. You have to have multiple streams and multiple entry points, multiple revenue streams, I should say, and multiple entry points into your business. I can see you becoming a global recognized thought leader in your niche, respected and looked up to by your audience and even your competitors. One big thing, a huge goal that I would love to achieve, and I'd love to help you achieve it, is 12 months business cash flow in your bank. And that your business has profits for investment, as well as giving you, the life that paying you the amount that you need to live the life that you want. And that you can live your life on terms of how you want it. And that your business isn't just paying you what you need today, but it's also putting away money for the future as well. And you know, the map for my perfect fit client. Well, you know, some people here are coming, like they're going to be at different stages. So some people are just starting out, they've got no list, and that's fine. So I want to help them kind of grow and develop, and you know, if we want to get a list in place and get launched in the next 90 to 180 days. There's some people who have a list, and they've done 1 or 2 launches, but they're yet to really have a systematic approach to lead generation. And for those people, it's probably getting to the next, you know, kind of 5-figure, maybe mid to high 5-figure launch. Then we've got other people who are running ads. Maybe you're running Facebook ads, but maybe your Facebook ads need a little bit of optimization. You're opt-in. Maybe people are coming onto your list, but they're not converting when you're making an offer. Then I'm going to have like people who want to set up their mini front-end product. So that's where they want to get their full cost, their cost per leads, cost per acquisition, fully covered by a mini front-end product. And then for the final kind of, you know, stage of my clients and of kind of my plan for my perfect fit clients is to get to that, you know, level where you're either $1 million a year annual revenue or the big one of the $1 million launch. So that's the plan that I have in place. Now, why it's so important, and you know, kind of if we come back here to the enroll, I'm just going to talk you through like why is it important for me to enroll you? Well, it's important for me to enroll you because I need you to believe and to follow through. I honestly believe that the best place for you, you know, to get your lead generation set up and running is in the Lead2Launch program. But I need to enroll you to get you interested enough that you can take the action to follow through, to consume the content, and to move through. And that's where I think the big difference is between clickbait. So if you look at, you know, I have a formula and I even have a template that I use with my clients for content creation. Which, you know, at the front of it, we go in, there's a hook, and if you're looking at the, you know, the structure of this, obviously these presentations are all structured and they all start off with some sort of a hook, go into a story, then we look at, you know, what the big promise is, what the benefits are, what the dangers are, and then into actually delivering in 3 points. But if you look at what's the difference between clickbait and having, you know, kind of a well-structured copy, as in a content creation template. Well, the difference is the content, and from my mind, getting you enrolled and getting you to absorb this content is to get you excited and to get you moving, to get you to take action. And I think that's the way you need to look at it. That, you know, it's through getting the action that we're really going to get the results for people, and the byproduct of that is the revenue that we get. But I think that's the way that we need to set up first. And then come through from, you know, enroll into engage. So I need to get you results, and that's why I've gone to such detail in this presentation. I wanted to give you an entire system that you could take, that you could go away, you know, download, you could look at it, I gave you a full map out of a system, I gave you, you know, from a lead generation perspective, the funnel that you need to do, some of the key points of each of the funnel, how to build your value ascension roadmap, and then the glue that holds together, which is the M.E3 framework. Because if I don't give you that, well, you're not going to proceed with me, and I'm never going to get you to a point where I can, you know, I can elevate you to joining the Lead2Launch membership. And it's true that you know, that we get to the offers, because you have to have given people that, you know, that success. You have to have helped them take that step up from where they are now, whatever challenge, whatever hurdle, whatever problem is sitting in front of them. You have to give them the stepping stone. Once they get to that, you have to prepare them for the next step, and that in essence is the entire M.E3 framework. But I do want to move on now and look at one other element, which is taking back to the M.E3 framework. So we had talked about map, enroll, engage, and elevate. But there's a second piece of this puzzle which I think will bring more clarity to the value ascension roadmap, and it'll show you the fractional nature of the ME3 framework. So if we look at our what we described as our value ascension roadmap, we've got our free front end content, our lead magnets, our mini front end products, our signature product, membership, group coaching, and mastermind. Previously, I laid those out in a pyramid, but it's probably for this exercise, it's better to look at them side on. So we have all of our value ascension, and at each level, the customer is getting, the client is getting a higher level of value, and we're getting a higher level of value due to the remuneration and the profitability paid to us. So if we look at, okay, well, there's our roadmap, and then on the roadmap, each of the steps is in essence a milestone. But if we look at how does the ME3 framework interact with the value ascension roadmap, we then see that on each level, what we're doing is we have a map for our perfect fit client. We have a map for our personal strategy. So if I'm creating a lead magnet, yeah, you better believe that lead magnet should be something that I like talking about. That lead magnet should be helping me achieve my personal goals. That lead magnet should be helping me achieve my business goals. That lead magnet should have very specific outcomes for my perfect fit client. Then we want to go from perfect fit client, if we're talking about like our free front end content here. Free front-end content for perfect, one of the things we need to do is enroll. What does that mean? Well, how do we enroll in our free front-end content? We enroll through things like our headline. We enroll through things like our hook. So we have to answer the question early in our content, why is it that you have to answer the question, what's in it for me? And if you answer that question, what's in it for me, people are going to consume your content. Because the only value in producing content is if people consume it. Then through the engage part of your content. So now you're looking at, well, now you're delivering, you've made promises in your headline, you've made promises in your hook. Now your body of that delivers the deliverables. So now you make good on it. And what you have to do is the deliverables in that piece of content need to move people to a certain point where they're ready to take the action or elevate the offer that you make at the end of your blog post. This could be a blog post, it could be a video, it could be an email. So you're going to have a call to action, you're going to have an offer, and even though that's not paid for, it is still an offer. And any time that you ask anybody to do anything, even if you're asking somebody to change their point of view, if you are asking somebody to make a decision about something, if you're asking somebody to, to even just change their mind or even consider something, well, you are made an offer to them that they can either accept or reject. They will accept or reject that based on the first two elements, which are the enrollment. Did you enroll them in taking action? Did you enroll them? Did you give them a big enough reason why? If you gave them a big enough reason why, they consume the content, and then you move them to a certain position, you prepared them for taking the offer, and you gave them everything that they needed in order to say yes to the final offer. Well, then they're gonna elevate, and then once they elevate, they go up. So in our free content, it might be the offer that you make is for a lead magnet. So like I think it was workshop 1, I described the model that I have where I have free content. So I have basically an 18,000 word blog post that's been released out over time. And that blog post is on running profitable Facebook ad campaigns. So people come, they go read the content. The offer from that is to sign up for one of two lead magnets, either the lead magnet, which is the Facebook ad content creation template, or it is the Facebook ad, kind of winning ad library resource. So if I've done my job in the content, well, they will then say, okay, yeah, this is the next step I need to take, and that will elevate them up. So now they have the content creation template. But I need to now start working again. Okay, well, what's my mini front end product from that is the Facebook Business Manager and ad account setup. So if I've done my job in my lead magnet, I'm going to have put them in a position whereby the logical next step for them is that mini front end product. and we go through the cycle again. So first of all, and somebody might sign up for the mini front end product, but we all know the stat about online courses, and the completion rate is around 2%. Why is the completion rate of online courses 2%? Well, the completion rate is 2% because people sign up for the courses, so they get excited, they make the purchase, but not a good enough job is made in enrolling people in completing the course. And I think this is the factor that underlines it all. So once somebody buys something, your job is not over. Once somebody buys somebody, now you have to enroll them in completing it, in getting the transformation that you know that they can on that level. So again, in order to do that, you have to go engage, you have to go enroll, you have to go engage, and then you have to elevate. And you do that from a mini product, and the mini product prepares them to jump up and go to the signature product and higher. And as I said, we're not talking about the kind of the later stages here. But that maps out the M.E3 framework. So I think we can come back off the screen now. I'm just going to take a quick look over here, see if we have any comments or any chat coming in. So hi Jane, hi Phil, how you doing? Anybody else? Oh yeah, super. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so sorry, I flicked up a whole lot of stuff on my screen and now I need to get rid of it. That was a bit silly. So, look at I've laid out a process. I've laid up a map that I honestly believe that you can implement. But I know possibly not everybody is ready. And some people will be, well, that's great, Mihal, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to get my Facebook ads up and running. Well, I think it's hugely important. And I think, getting your Facebook ads right, getting a lot of this groundwork is something that is worth investing time, effort, and energy on. But it's not worth wasting time, effort, and energy. So you have to be smart about where you go for information. You have to be smart about getting it right. Like another big objection, well, look at technology. I can't get the technology to work. For me, technology is the easy part. And that's really what, what I want to bring to business owners is releasing them from all the tech and the marketing and all the headaches that are over there and helping them move forward. Because the most important thing that you can do is the creation of content to help your perfect fit client get the transformation you promise and engaging with them. So actually, helping them through that process. So the creation and the implementation of that content. As the, business owner, as the main producer, I feel that is your primary role. And look at, based on that, I'm putting together a small group coach membership where we will apply my 90-day Lead2Launch process in your business. So I'm going to take a small group, no more than 10 to 15 people max are coming into the group. We meet at the start of each quarter, and one of the reasons I want to get this kicked off soon is we're coming to the start of the final quarter of 2021. And I suppose the question you have to ask yourself is, how have you progressed with your business goals this year? Are you absolutely crushing it? Is your lead generation absolutely top notch? Are you, are you ready for your next launches? Is all your technology and everything else completely sorted? If it is, that's brilliant. If it's not, maybe you need to do something about it. So we meet at the start of each quarter, we lay down our plans. The first month we look on our lead generation campaigns, developing lead magnet, opt-in pages, refining that. Month 2 is getting our Facebook ad campaigns up and running, or getting our engagement content in place, preparing for launch. And then month 3 is launching. So this could be a primary or secondary promotion, whether that's a full-on PLF launch or whether that's a challenge launch, webinar launch, whatever model it is, it doesn't make any difference. I'm not specifying that you have to use one launch model or another. What I want to get people to, the one challenge that I see is people do not launch often enough. I think you need to launch often. You need to get in, and it doesn't matter where you are. So take this launch. This is far from perfect, and it's far from ideal. I hadn't intended to even do this launch. I was planning on launching in January, but I got a little bit of pressure from some very good friends to say, hey Michal, why don't you just go do it? So I just started the launch on Monday morning, and here we are on Thursday. And look, this isn't about the Lead2Launch membership. I will be sending out more information on that tomorrow, but it's just about getting it done, because you know what? Repetition and getting the reps in is the most important thing that you can do when it comes to lead generation, and when it comes to launching. So month 3, we get in, we launch. Now the cool thing about the Lead2Launch process is it's cyclical. So what we do is we start off, it's a 90-day cycle, we keep running. So people, no matter where you are in your business, if you start off and, some people might have no lead magnet, that's fine. We'll work on creating a lead magnet. Other people might have a lead magnet, well then we look at optimizing it. Other people have a lead magnet, we might look at launching lead magnet 2. For other people, they might have lead magnet, but the opt-in page isn't converting. We work on optimizing that. That could be 2 cycles through. You could get to, okay, well then we want to go more advanced. Well, that's bringing in a mini front-end product. So, you might do 2 cycles on, 1 cycle on developing the mini front-end product, the second 90-day cycle on launching it. So there's an ever-ending, and that's the thing that I love about this model, is that there's always a new level of expertise. There's always a new level of detail that you can get to in this. I think that this 90-day Lead2Launch cycle is what all online businesses really need to put into place. Whether you're putting it in with me or whether you're putting it in on your own, that is completely up to you. In terms of what the Lead2Launch membership is going to look like, well, we're going to have multiple meetings during the week. I've set aside up to 5 hours per week. Now, that sounds like a lot. You're not going to be expected to come to 5 hours. But what I have is I've got 1 hour of content delivery a week. We've got probably a 2 hour, what I'm calling a hustle pod, a 2 to 3 hour hustle pod where people are going to come in. This is a chance to literally get the work done. So yes, I will be there. Yes, my team will be there. We will be answering questions, but this is primarily for getting the work done. In addition to that, we're going to have questions and answer sessions where, office hours, where I'm going to show up, I'm going to open up Zoom. Whoever comes in, you come in, you ask your questions. And what are we going to cover there? Well, we're going to look at lead magnet generation. We're going to look at opt-in page optimization. We're going to look at your Facebook ads. We're going to get your Facebook ad account set up. We're going to get it operating properly. We're going to get your pixel working. We're going to get all the components it primed for your campaign delivery. Then for people who are more advanced, who are out there, who are running campaigns, we're going to look at your campaign metrics. If you have problems, if your ad is not converting, I'm going to work with you to modify, to optimize your ads and to get the best performance possible. As much as anything else, and this is the other one, the 2 big challenges that I see people have in the online world is generating new leads and technology. And weirdly enough, I love the technology part. Not very many people out there, but I absolutely love the technology part. So we're going to work across, we have the 4 main platforms covered. So the 4 main, as in Infusionsoft, Ontraport, ActiveCampaign, and I forgot the last one. Infusionsoft, Ontraport, ActiveCampaign. And Drip. Sorry, yeah. So we've the 4. We've full experience with the 4 main ones, and in addition to that, we have the other like ConvertKit, Mailchimp. They're all there. We'll be able to figure them out. If you have a problem integrating your email platform, if you have a problem with kind of your website, if you have a problem with launching your lead pages, if you have a problem with integrating lead pages into your mailing platform, we can take care of it all during the office hours, during the Q's and A's, during the hustle pods. In addition to that, we're also going to have kind of monthly implementation workshops. If you fall behind, if you can't make it, this will be optional. That if you want to show up, if you want to come in, I'll be there. Your other Lead2Launch members will be there. and it's a chance to actually get the work done. But going to be more on that tomorrow and over the weekend. So what did we cover here today? Well, what we looked at today was we applied the ME3, so map, enroll, engage, elevate. We applied and shared how the ME3 model framework can be put in place in your business. We also applied it to the Value Ascension Roadmap to show you how it works in practice. And really, this is a methodology for thinking about any of your marketing campaigns, any of your promotions, your lead generation practices. So, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate, time is the most valuable resource, and I appreciate that you chose to spend time with me here today. So thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure. If you do have any questions, I think in the links or in the comments, you should see a link to join the not to join. You should see a link to sign up for a webinar, or you should see a link in there to set up a call one-on-one. If you have any questions about the Lead to Launch process, about the ME3 framework, about Lead to Launch membership, please do get in touch and jump in, grab a call in my diary, and we'll take it from there. So that's it from me. Thank you very, very much for listening, and I hope to see you again real soon.